Happy New Year from the geopolitical team here at Steno Research. My name is Sandager and I'm here to give you the top 7 geopolitical risks to your portfolio in 2025. Let's dive in. We are barely a week into the new year and US President-elect Donald Trump is already making waves here in my home country of Denmark. Trump wants to control Greenland and is threatening new tariffs on Denmark if we resist. Panama, Mexico, Canada, the EU, and China is also in Trump's crosshairs. It's still believed that Trump is mainly using these tariffs as a bargaining chip to get political concessions. But we'll have to wait until January 20th to find out just how many of his threats will materialize. Next, we turn to Thailand, where political stability have been fragile after years of tension between military-backed royalists and populist reform parties. The current Prime Minister is the daughter of powerful political figure and former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who was ousted in a military coup in 2006. Could the military do something similar to his daughter in 2025? In Argentina, the risk of coup is probably weighing quite heavily on President Javier Milei's mind as well. The libertarian leader had been in office for around a year, and in that time, he has implemented severe austerity measures in an effort to curb spending and tackle hyperinflation. And while he's been successful in that endeavor, he's also seen poverty rates skyrocket to a 2-decade high. 2025 will show whether Milei's fiscal diet is too lean to swallow for the struggling Argentinian people. Putin's web of mercenaries in the Middle East and Africa appear overstretched and under-resourced. The most clear example of this was Putin's inability to protect the Assad regime in Syria, a long-term ally. This year we're watching Mali, Burkina Faso and the Central African Republic to see if their governments can hold off opposition forces without their Russian patron. Another Assad ally, Iran, will also spend 2025 regrouping and attempting to regain its influence in the Middle East. Iran's ruling clergy is facing pressure from several separatist movements, including in the southeastern province of Sistan, Baluchistan, where tensions are rising between Pakistan and Iran as the two countries exchange missile strikes linked to Baluch separatists. With money running dry out of the Iranian war chest, will the country even have enough resources to protect its own territory? In Venezuela, an international crisis might actually serve to extend the rule of the establishment. Controversial President Nicolas Maduro has recently made claim to the oil-rich Essequibo area in neighboring Guyana. And while the conflict hasn't involved military might yet, there are reports that Maduro is moving military personnel and equipment closer to the disputed border. Finally, let's return to Europe, which has no shortage of challenges of its own. Half, for example, of EU member states have government debt that exceeds 60% of GDP, higher than the EU threshold. Whereas still, Germany and France, Europe's two most critical economies, are in political gridlocks that makes addressing these challenges pretty hard. If you want to know more about the political chaos in France and Germany, I suggest you read my in-depth analysis. I'll link below. And with that, I hope your 2025 is off to a great start. I'll see you on StenoResearch.com.